So most roofing problems, they're actually not going to start after the storm. They're going to start during the replacement. And a roof replacement is not just tearing shingles off and putting new ones on. It's a whole system. And when homeowners understand that it's a full system, they avoid surprises, stress, and regret. So let's walk through a roof replacement from start to finish. So before any materials show up, the most important step happens: inspection. Not just looking at the shingles, looking at the structure underneath, looking at your decking condition, your fastener patterns, your ventilation, any previous repairs you've had. That's where a lot of problems are typically going to get missed. A roof can look fine on the surface, but still have issues underneath it. And if those issues aren't identified early, they're going to show up later as change orders or as failures in your roof. Once the roof is evaluated and you determine what kind of system you're going to use, that's when the permit process begins. And permits matter a lot more than homeowners realize. What they do is they tie the roofing system to the local code requirements. Skipping steps in the permitting process or rushing it later is going to create problems. And before that permitting process even happens, you have material selection that you have to put on the permit. And that's when homeowners will consider certain things, but they don't really consider how important these details are. But materials are only part of the system. And I don't think they take enough time to understand that each individual material is going to make up that system. So in a shingle roof, you're going to have your shingles, underlayment, your flashing, your drip edges, ventilation. Each one of these pieces are going to have a role, as I mentioned, in that full system. So choosing good shingles doesn't necessarily protect the rest of your home if the rest of the system is weak. So I talk about this all the time with windows and doors, is that if we're talking about my mom's house, I would rather a great company install a inferior product versus a not so great company install a superior product. So at the end of the day, choosing good shingles is not going to protect your home completely if the rest of the system under the shingles or the system working with those shingles are weak, or if they're not great products. So once your materials are ordered, that's when scheduling and preparation begins. Now, roof replacements are disruptive. Driveways are going to need to be cleared, yards are going to need to be protected, and access is going to have to be planned. So a good company is going to explain all this on the front end, so nothing feels chaotic the day of installation. You're running around, moving your car, trying to let your dog in and out. Somebody set up a ladder and left your gate open, your dog runs out. And ultimately, this is where execution is going to matter most. And this is where experience is really going to come into play, and having a system ready for your homeowners that we're working for. So when your original roof is demoed, your deck is going to be exposed. That deck is going to be re-inspected, and that's where a lot of hidden issues appear. So you have rot, delamination, improper repairs, and this is where dealing with a honest company matters. Having some of these issues or problems arrive doesn't mean that someone did something wrong. They mean that the house is old, and these are the scars that are showing. What matters is how these problems are handled. Decking repairs need to be addressed. Underlayment has to be installed correctly, not just rolled out. It needs to be installed per code. Make sure your flashing is installed around penetrations. Make sure that your valleys are handled properly. The drip edges need to be secured correctly throughout the home. Your shingles, make sure that they're installed with the correct fasteners in the correct location. And this is where shortcuts cause a lot of failures. So once installation is complete, this is where cleanup matters. Now, is it possible for a roofing company to get 100% of the debris, find all the nails, find all the tin caps, everything that came off your roof, which is the size of your house? It can be difficult at times to find everything, but we go around multiple times every day. Make sure you communicate that with whatever company that you're thinking about. Ask them how they manage the cleanup at the end of the day and at the end of the project, because that's going to be very important to you. So in some cases, we actually have homeowners that ask us if they can borrow our magnets overnight, just to give the property once over, twice over, 3 times, whatever it may be, just because they're worried about their kids, their dogs, or pets. We're happy to lend out the magnets to the homeowners just because we want them to feel protected, we want them to be protected, and we want their pets and kids to be protected as well. You can do the best job on a roof, the best job on a window project. If the company does not do a good job cleaning up, that's going to show that they don't respect the home. So when it comes to cleanup, when it comes to protection, that's something that we put a big focus on at Bigfoot Windows and Roofing. So after the cleanup is all finalized and the project's closed, we're going to get our final inspection. So once again, inspections, they're going to confirm compliance. They're not going to actually test the roof in a hurricane, and especially with metal, shingles, and flat roofs. And that's why installation quality before inspections is really everything. So once the inspection passes, the project should be reviewed. So the biggest problem is when homeowners don't understand the process. Roofing is not a product purchase, it's a construction project. And construction projects, they're going to require planning, communication, execution. Homeowners that understand the process, they're going to make better decisions and avoid regret. And that's the goal. Bigfoot Windows and Roofing, building trust, one window, one door, one roof at a time.